Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently invading Chile, and it is going... Hello, pause menu. It's going reasonably well. We actually just pushed them out of this territory, and we're going to continue pushing here. Now, of course, there's a lot of attrition over here, and their organization is pretty low, so this unit isn't going to be the one to be advancing. But that's okay. Let's check our logistics here and see how we're doing. We're losing out a little bit on artillery and support equipment and infantry equipment with that update. So, let's hop into here, and we would like to devote an additional factory to all of those, actually. Something along the lines of that. Now, we only have a couple factories. Ooh, this is not looking great. Okay, for the strikes, we are going to make propaganda heroes. There's more strikes. Gross. That is absolutely gross. Well, we're going to make propaganda heroes out of them. So much for our political power. We just keep getting strikes over and over and over again. And that is making me very, very sad indeed. I'm not a big fan of this. Just like how I'm not a big fan of only getting audio from my right ear. There we go. I think I may have fixed it. There we go. Excellent. Just a little bit of a loose connector. Fantastic. Okay, so our anti-partisan agency has been upgraded. That's wonderful. And these need to get assigned, of course, into our Coast Guard division. Fantastic. Or rather, our Coast Guard army is the term here. So that's fine, and we're going to continue pushing down through here. We have a good number of them pocketed, and that's a really good sign. We're going to be able to push down and take Chile fairly easily after we get these guys stack wiped. So that is, of course, fantastic. Now we are working on our justification on Argentina, and that's going to be a little while yet. And it's also going to be a much, much wider front than we're used to. Now, these guys are mostly going to be defending this territory here, right? But, I mean, we need additional troops over here. We may want to, for the time being, remove some of these areas from their area defense order. And have them be responsible for, like, this, for right now. Maybe this. Okay, so that's a minimum of 18 divisions. That is much better. I mean, we could, in theory, just put them on a front line here, right? And their front line would be... If I do this, there we go. Their front line would be essentially from here... No, I don't want the whole border. I do not want the whole border. I want their front line to be, like, from here... No, I did it again. You gotta right-click to do that. Come on. There we go. So their border would be essentially... there's not actually a connection there, I guess. Their border would be essentially that. Excellent. And they're at 24 of 24 there. And then these guys will be responsible for this border here, and we'll just have both push in and try to meet in the middle, I think. We do have an unassigned division here, and we're going to put him into a new Coast Guard division, and this will be exclusively for area defensing our coast. Something along the lines of that. Excellent. And we'll give them a commander here. We do happen to have one available. And what is their minimum division number for this? 51. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be a while before they are ready for that. But that is completely fine. How are things going over here? Ah, we don't have orders here. Okay, so we're going to need to do an offensive line here. Like so. In fact, I'm going to tell these guys, just attack. These guys, they're going to get a new front line down here. And they're going to be assigned to that. With their plan being to front line down here, because apparently this managed to get removed. Or rather, this should be the offensive line. The offensive line would be like that. Okay. Execute that. These guys should all be assigned to this. And there we go. Perfect. Okay. And then they'll join in down here when they're finished. Capital ship effort. Okay. These guys are apparently retreating. We have low manpower. That's not shocking, of course. We're going to bump this guy over here, as well as this guy, and this guy. The Soviet Union has annexed Tanutuva. Okay. All of these are going to be put into our Coast Guard, and we do need to do a submarine effort. Perfect. We do have resistance to occupation, yes, and I kind of want to cut this in half now, down to 5 divisions. Okay. Because I think we are recruiting too quickly. Wonderful. How's our construction going? Well, it's going to be super slow, unfortunately. We are working on that addressing of the strike crisis. But the strikes just keep on coming in, which is very unfortunate. Okay, we now have this, so we will make sure everybody's assigned to this order. Fantastic, and we're just going to push down through Chile. British Malaya has capitulated to Japan. Okay. Sounds not necessarily good, but acceptable. We do definitely need some political power here. There's no doubt about it. We should probably start working on resistance suppression fairly soon, in theory, but I'd also like to go down our political tree here, which will hopefully help some of this. War support, division attack, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, hopefully. Santiago is about to fall. Well, in a little while here anyway. We do have another division that is unassigned. That will go over here. And these are all infantry right now. Now, you note that we are quite low on armor. And we're going to need additional steel here. There we go. So how are we doing on that situation with our armor? It's improving. It's not great, but it's improving. And I'm beginning to think that this strike crisis isn't going to work. Manila, the capital of the Philippines, has fallen to the Japanese after withdrawal of its American and Filipino defenders. The entrance to the strategically vital Manila Bay remained contested for some time after the city's fall due to the heavy concentration of American coastal artillery on Corregidor Island. I probably butchered that. But the guns eventually fell silent after a concerted Japanese attack. With Manila under Japanese control, the rest of the Philippines are expected to follow shortly after. It's a stinging defeat for American forces in Asia and the Pacific. Indeed. How are the logistics looking over here? There's our support weapons 4 finishing, which is nice. Our logistics are actually okay through here. I'm slightly shocked. Peru wants a non-aggression pact, and I decline. We do want to start working on... Honestly, I think weapons 3 is what we want to work on here. So we'll get started on that. And we require additional factories, but I'm starting to think that we're not going to successfully address the strike crisis, which is really going to hurt. Unfortunately, we did put in 2 80% chances on successfully dealing with that, and it looks like we failed both of them. I think we failed both of them. We'll see. They do take some time to come in. So there is that. Logistically, we are doing okay on everything currently. That's great to see. And yeah, we've got a lot of work to do still in ramping up our war effort, but that's fine. So Chile is currently crumbling, and if we look at our construction area here, we can see we have gotten a few extra factories from this state up here. It's not great, but it's something anyway. Okay. We do need to work on our stability, that is for sure. But Santiago is about to fall. So that is wonderful. We are continuing to press down the Chilean coast, and it looks like we've managed to outmaneuver... Oh, there goes Chile capitulating. Perfect. So that is absolutely wonderful. We are now going to wait before we do any more attacking for a little bit here. We want to set up a front line. We can't extend the line there. Okay, we don't care about this necessarily. We're going to get rid of that, and we're going to front line all along here. All the way up to, not quite there, but all the way up to there. Okay. And then the plan will be that these guys will offensive line probably something kind of like this. And then these guys will offensive line something along the lines of that. And essentially carve the nation in half. And then this we can probably have like one unit, like this guy, be responsible to frontline here. And his mission will be to just offensive line here. Okay. Fantastic. Ah, finally. Heroes on the production front. Industrial war is more than just divisions marching and planes bombing. We've actually already read this. Heroes one and all. Base stability +5. And that ends the strike. Oh, so much better. So much better. I don't suppose we can construct any factories. No, we cannot. Okay, fair enough. We did get some online, though, so let's take a look at our production here. Yeah, this is much, much better. That's very good to see. We are currently going down on our fuel, but that's probably because we are maneuvering quite a bit right now. And we should think about... Well, there's our infantry anti-tank 1. But we should think about perhaps going into our industry here and grabbing improved oil processing for additional oil. I mean, all of this would be great. Also, fuel refining 1 would be good too. Fuel gain per oil. Fuel gain from refineries. I feel like this is more oil for us, though. But maybe we should go down here. That's still half a year away. Okay, let's grab improved oil processing. Excellent. So that is underway. What's the US up to? They're working on their carriers. Fair enough. Yes, our manpower is low. Yes, we have resistance to occupation. But we're going to chill here for a bit. And that should be fine. Now, our Coast Guard is going to have to be extended pretty dramatically after the Argentinian War. That's fairly expected, of course. So that'll be fine. We can see that these guys are working on that infrastructure destruction. Okay, sure. We should probably grab... Modern tanks requires either of these. To get to modern tanks, there are fewer paths to go via heavy tank. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go through the heavy tank tree here. Fantastic. We're just going to try to rush modern tanks. And these guys are still spreading out here. How long on our Argentinian justification? That is going to be quite a while yet. Still 230 days. That'll give some time for our manpower to grow back up and for us to deal with some of these compliance issues. For sure. Let's go into our situation here and take a look. Yeah, where is the non-compliance the highest? Currently it's the highest over here, so we should definitely move over to Paraguay. We should be rooting out resistance in Paraguay. There we go. Fantastic. Now then, we need another technology to research here. Night assault tactics, I like it. I am going to spend the army experience to get that faster. We are currently negative on our decisions, and that's unfortunate. Or rather, we're negative on our political power. And that is unfortunate, but it's going to take us a little bit of time to get set up for this. We definitely have a larger army than Argentina. I do not believe they can afford to man this whole border, and so that means that we should be able to fairly easily crush Argentina. Which is wonderful, of course. And yeah, we do have some resistance to our occupation over here, and we're going to continue to work on that. How's our construction going? We are working on infrastructure in quite a number of locations. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to queue up that infrastructure, and I'm going to cancel airbase constructions, as well as anti-air. In fact, I can just do this a little faster, as well as radar for now, and we're just going to build infrastructure and forts. We don't need all these forts necessarily. So we're just going to go ahead and get through all of this. You can just hold the enter key. That's nice to confirm it. We do want to work on that infrastructure, though. Okay, there we go. Fantastic. So we will get that underway. At some point soon... Oh, Iceland has capitulated. They were part of the Axis, I suppose. They capitulated to the United States. That is... awkward. But okay. That's what they want to do. Actually want to alter this offensive line, I think. Let's see. Can we... that... No, we can't exactly. It's good enough. I think it's good enough. Just taking Argentina will be a big, big boon for us. I'd like to take Peru next, honestly. They're a part of the Axis, which does give me pause. At some point, we're going to need to fight both the Axis and the Allies, right? So that's a thing. What's going on over here? Free France, United States. The US is invading Italy. Okay, that's really good to know. So I think that means that we can definitely attack Peru here, because they're in the Axis. So what we're going to do here is we do need more to justify against them. That's true. We have a non-aggression pact with their faction leader. We can't revoke the pact until 14 October. Okay, sounds good. It'll take some time to get there anyway. We're not going to be ready for this for a little while. I would definitely like to bump up to extensive conscription. I don't really care too much about the 10% training time. Doubling our recruitable manpower would be really, really nice. There's no doubt about that. This division can get assigned... Actually, this is a light tank brigade. So I'm going to assign that in lieu of this cavalry division, which will get assigned over to the Coast Guard. And then we'll do that. Fantastic. So we'll get a light tank brigade over there. And how are we doing logistically now that we're not fighting? We're short on light tanks. We knew that would probably end up being the case. How positive are we on towed artillery and support equipment right now? Not tremendously. I think I'm going to try backing this off to 10 and bumping up our light tanks to 10 as well. Keep in mind that our production efficiency is going to roughly double on the light tanks still. Indian calls for independence have intensified lately. Now things have come to a head as the radicalist Quit India movement has called for the United Kingdom to leave the country as soon as possible. British authorities were quick to react, however, and have cracked down on the movement, arresting several leaders in dawn raids on homes across India. Reports prepared by Special Branch indicate that many sympathizers are still at large, however, and many in the civil service have expressed fears that more extremist elements of the movement may even resort to violence. Yet another doomed attempt at freedom. Okay, so we can grab our destroyer effort. That'll be fine. And next up is going to be our heavy tanks finishing up. Sounds good. As soon as we have that, of course, we will be swapping production over to heavy tanks. I think. Really? Strikes again. Oh. Unfortunate. We are never going to get political power again, are we? At least every time the strikes are happening, our stability is coming up by 5%. So that's something. But I really would prefer to implement better worker conditions. That would be better. But I guess that's one of those things that I should have done earlier, all things considered. I guess I didn't realize that war is just a base 30% stability reduction. That's definitely a lesson learned. So our improved oil processing will be done in 37 days. When that's done, we should be fine on our fuel for now. But as our tanks continue to ramp up, that will be less of a thing. And yeah, we're fine on our infantry equipment too for now. And we currently have quite a large surplus of infantry equipment. So there's no concerns about that right now. In fact, how much per factory are we making? About 9 per factory or so. A little over. Actually, a little under. I think we're safe to drop this back to 9 factories and do something like that. We could maybe drop it further, but I don't really want to drop it further, and I'm actually going to put this one back if we get an additional military factory, just because it was actually about 8.99 or something like that, around 9 per factory. So that's good to know, but we're going to be switching over to Infantry Equipment 3 soon, and so having a good backlog is important. That's for sure. Our war support is pretty decent. I mean, we are technically still at war against the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union is doing fine. They are nowhere near capitulation right now. That war is going to drag on for a while until the United States has something to say about it, I suspect. Hello, Soviet Union. I didn't intend to zoom in on you. I intended to zoom in over here. Fantastic. So yeah, that's going to continue going for a while. Of course, we've got another 230 days still. It feels like this just... Oh, it's currently paused because of a lack of political power. No wonder it feels like it's not moving. We just keep getting those strikes. If only. If only we hadn't have had to spend over 300 political power on strikes in the past year. So, at this rate, this just isn't going to happen. I mean, it's going to be 45 days until we address the strike crisis, which is going to be like halfway through. I'm going to bump this up to speed 4 because this is going to be a while. For sure. The strike has just kind of put everything on pause. I mean, I guess that gives us some time to work on our heavy tanks and get those implemented. I do want to check to see if we actually want to switch our divisions over to being heavy tanks. So let's actually go into our research screen here and take a look. So I want to click for details. Breakthrough is 36, heart attack is 12. Those are what I'm most interested in right now, I think, and the hardness is okay. But I'm most interested, I think, in breakthrough and heart attack. So 12 and 36 compared to 4 and 26. So yeah, I think we do want to switch over to heavy tanks, and then we're going to go down into modern tanks, which will be great. There's heavy tank 1 finished up. I want to grab heavy tank 2 as quick as we can, and we are going to immediately begin production of heavy tanks. Yes, that resets our production efficiency. Yes, I am aware of this. We have no template that is using them, and we will create one. So our armored division here is going to swap to heavy tanks. And we want this to still be a combat width of 20 for now. So we're going to do that. That's going to cost us 35, 40, 45, and 50. Perfect. It will cause a disbanding of existing divisions with this template. There's no equipment intersection between modified and original template. Whoa, why did this all just reset? Okay, so I guess we're going to do this a little bit more piecemeal then. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something like this and just leave it like this for now. Yes. Okay, we're missing equipment production on light tanks. Yes, I'm aware of that. Trade with the United States was terminated due to the low trade influence. So that's going to hurt us on our steel, for sure. Let's see about getting some aluminum from Vichy, France. And some steel from Vichy, France as well. And some chromium from Turkey. There we go. Okay, so now I want to edit this, and I want to put in a heavy tank here, and a heavy tank here, and a heavy tank here. There we go. Now it won't disband. Oh, it did! It did disband it. Rip. Well, that's very unfortunate. I was hoping that that wouldn't happen. I should have kept the one there. Oh well. We will have heavy tanks coming out quite soon. 2.55 per week right now. We need roughly 2,000 for reinforcement. I don't know what we're going to be reinforcing exactly. But this is a infantry division, and they will come out over here. I'm actually going to put 2 infantry divisions over here just to fill out that army, just in case. But yeah, these strikes are definitely getting rough. They're getting very rough for us. So we'll need to deal with those. And they should be done, this set of strikes anyway, quite soon. Let's see here. Where is that at? That's in here. Yeah, here in about 7 days. At any rate, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to see how we can deal with our stability crisis. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.